have this friend. He told me that Blind Fate Edo no Yami has a great demo and that you guys should review it. It just happened that publisher 101XP had already sent us a review code for the game on Steam. This is developer Troglodyte's second release, and it features a cybernetically enhanced samurai tasked with tracking down and slaying evil spirits. Graphically, it's nice, the music and voice acting are great, but can the gameplay and story keep up? Let's journey into the ancient future cyberpunk Japan together in the XboxEra review of Blind Fate Edo no Yami. The game's setting is weird, sometimes cool, but ultimately it's a missed opportunity. You are the samurai Yami, and in this weird future Earth, you are in the period of New Edo. It's a post-cyberpunk world, and I wish that it was just an actual cyberpunk one, because the areas that take place in the past look way cooler than the rest of the game. There is a catch to these looks, and it's that you're blind. Yami was left for dead with his eyes eaten out and his arms chopped off. A friendly Tengu spirit finds him and attaches cybernetic limbs and a mask that enhances his senses of hearing, smell, and his ability to feel heat. This is the heart of the game, constantly changing between these senses as you fight your foes. It's pretty damned cool at first, but quickly, much like every other part of the gameplay, it becomes very repetitive. You start the game off powered up with abilities that you will quickly lose. These are just a few of the main upgrades you'll unlock as you progress through the story. Once you have most of your abilities unlocked after a quite long time of playing, the game finally becomes almost mediocre gameplay-wise. It takes far too long to get to this point, however, because I was over 5 hours in before I had even unlocked a handful of the upgrades. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people who buy this game not lasting long enough to get to the point where it starts feeling halfway decent to play. Controls are simple, with X being your slice, Y being a ranged stun, B is for dodging, and A is for jumping. While playing as your cybernetically enhanced version, you can double jump as well. There are brief periods where you play as your pre-enhanced self that are not very fun. The right trigger is your block and eventual parry, the left trigger is for swapping your senses, and the left bumper is for interacting with the environment at certain times. There is more you unlock very slowly over your playthrough, and while it can occasionally look really damned cool, it never feels smooth while playing it. The game features decent 3D graphics on a 2D plane, with occasional moments of brilliance in the art design. On the whole, it's pleasant looking, though the outdoor forest areas do get to be a little bland. I much preferred the city sections, but those levels were few and far between. My time with the game was spent on PC, where it ran perfectly on ultra settings. For a 29GB install though, I was disappointed at how low quality many of the textures were. If you set this game to a lower resolution, it could easily pass for a late 360 or early Xbox One title at times. My favorite part of the game was the audio. I mainly played with the Japanese voiceover and subtitles on, but even the English voiceover is solid. The writing was also good and carried what otherwise was a rather basic plot. It was matched by voice acting that was fully committed to the tale being told. It is pretty damn serious most of the time, with little to no humor, but it works. The music isn't particularly memorable, but it fits the post-cyberpunk ancient Japan vibe the game is going for, and the sound effects were fine. Options-wise, the game is light, with only 3 difficulties that mostly felt the same, with slightly different damage in and out numbers. The game can be really hard, and not because it's clever and wants to test you, but because the hitboxes are routinely off, and your character can feel incredibly stiff to try and maneuver around with. The energy system that dictates your ability to block, parry, swing, and dodge is a massive annoyance as well. It's far too punishing in the early stages, and the boss fights were miserable to learn, as I constantly felt like I was dying instantly to attacks that were far too hard to read ahead of them hitting me. In conclusion, Blind Fate shows potential for this rather new dev team. They nailed multiple parts of what it takes to be great, with the writing being solid and the voice acting being fantastic. It looks good, but feels terrible to play, only getting to being almost decent after far too many hours. It can feel wildly unfair, but there is still just enough there that it may be worth checking out if you can find it at a decent price. It may not be the best samurai game, but it's got spirit. Thank you so much for watching, and if you can like, comment, and subscribe, it is by far the best way to help our channel grow. And we'll see you here next time on XboxEra.